Hello there, Miss Denise Ramon. How are you doing? And my lovely boy, Eric.
I'm doing well. Erik says, hi, Mama. He says, how are you? He's kissing you over here on the right side around here. So I don't know if you feel tingling or anything or warmth.
I'm going to pay attention. I think I do. All right, we are going to interview the moon. We did the sun. We don't want to be holding out on the moon. So, Denise, do you feel the energy of the moon? Her energy? I suppose it's female-ish.
I do feel her energy, and I do. And Erik's really bringing it in now real strong for me. I do feel her, and she says she's so misunderstood.
Oh, yeah. She's responsible for all them periods.
Yeah.
Our monthlies at flow coming down. Yeah, okay. Now, in what way are you misunderstood, Miss Moon? And first of all, what would you like to be called? Like the sun had something he wanted to be called. Well, he didn't care that much, but I think it was Mono.
She is saying Luna. And
I knew it. Oh my God, that must have been, well, maybe it's just obvious. All right.
No, she says, no, you were right. She says Luna. I was getting Luna, and she said, no, Luna. And she says that she knows that means moon in another language, but it's also, there's more behind it just mean moon in that language, she says, but she says Luna, and it's a feminine name. She says, when you hear Luna, she says, a lot of people think the moon's masculine energy. Yeah. And it isn't. She says, I'm
all woman.
That's what she's saying. She's going, I'm all feminine energy. I'm all female. And she says, I'm a love planet. I'm full of love, the energy. And she says, glorious. When you made a comment about the periods, the menstrual cycle, she says, she's to help it to flow a lot easier.
Okay, awesome.
And if we would align with that time of the month or whatever, and align with that energy, she says the flows would go a lot easier. Okay.
Is that why people say, well, they're loony? Because on a full moon, sometimes people's energy gets kind of like a little crazy. I don't want to say crazy, but just different.
She says some people do get crazy.
Yeah. And all the births, when I was doing L&D, labor and delivery, God, the number of births that would come in, or when I was working in the ER, oh my God, the number of cases, the crazy cases that came in. Is that all because, of the energy, the effect of your energy on us, on our human energy?
She says, yeah, she's showing me like some of it is because of there's fluid around the babies and stuff like that. So, with that. And then she says, it's also about, she's saying that with the energy. And what else did you tell? Because she was showing me a few things. She was also saying, like that around the babies, and that's like really a really sacred time to be born, she's saying, during the full moons. She says also too, what goes on in there is, it's like they're not as grounded, and that's why it's important for them to kind of like ground. She says, some people put water out when it's full moon for the moon to energize it. People put their crystals, or they put other things out there to energize it. She goes, there's a reason for that. She says, and so when you see a lot of birth, it's just that the way that the gravity and the energies that it's like the magnetic field or whatever just lines up with that. And this is, it's a good time to be born.
You have the effect on the tides. All right, we'll go ahead. And I know you're on a very tight schedule, Denise, so we'll just shotgun some of these. Lightning round. All right, some people say you're not a natural moon and that you're an artificial satellite brought here by aliens. Is that true? And if not, where do you come from?
She laughs and she says, I am a natural moon. She goes, but I'm not the only moon. She said there are many moons.
Well, I'm talking about circling Earth?
Or not Earth, but just out and about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she says there's many moons. She goes, but I'm the one for this planet. She says for this planet, and I feel like for other ones around in the galaxy, I guess is what she's showing me.
Okay.
She says, I wasn't brought here by aliens. She says, there's so many theories and so many speculations. She says, but she says, no, I was created to be here.
Well, where did you come from? Did you come from the earth itself, or like, I don't know. There's so
I
many-
asked her that about 30 minutes ago, like, well, who brought you here? And she says, source. I'm a part of
That's so great.
source.
Okay.
She says,
Are
we're
you-
all source.
Of course. Are you, what is your purpose for us?
She says a lot, there's many purposes for her, just like we have many purposes, you
Yeah.
know. Some are more important than others, but one you can't have, you have to have them all. She says, you know, she helps keeps things in alignment.
Yeah.
And when she says alignment, she's meaning this whole, with our, she's just going to go with our planet. She helps keeps this planet evolving, and like, I guess she's showing me moving, not evolving, but moving.
Okay.
And she says there's a reason why she's there for, to help with the tides to move in and out. It's because it's like she's showing me, you know, those plexiglass things, and they teeter totter and you see the ocean go up and down.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
colored
right.
with water.
Yeah.
She says she keeps from the ocean from just going all the way this way and just washing everything away. She keeps everything balanced. And when she's
Very
saying
nice.
that, and when she's saying that, I'm asking her about the hurricanes, because, you know, we just had a hurricane in Louisiana and all around in there and stuff. And I asked her about that. She says she does not interfere with other energies when stuff like that gets created, but
Yeah.
she does. She says she does help with that, because even though it looks disastrous, she says there's a purpose in that when the waters are a little bit too high or flood
Yeah.
or whatever. She says
There's
there's a
an
purpose.
energy balancing. Yeah.
Yes.
Talked about
Mhm.
that. Are you hollow? Someone wants to know.
She says no.
All right. What's on the dark side of the moon?
Well, she says it depends on what side you're standing on, you know, like where the moon is at the time, because there's always a dark side to it, just like there's a dark side to us
Yeah.
here on Earth.
But now,
And
since it doesn't rotate, there's one dark side that we never see.
she said, but
on
there's
that?
another sun, though, that comes around, like what we would call a sun or something.
Okay.
There's something else coming around there that shines. She says there is, I'm asking if there's life over there. She says there is life over there, but not as we know it.
Oh, okay.
And she's also told me too that it's also used as a like she's showing me like a landing station. So I guess
Oh.
where other aliens land or whatever. And Eric's laughing. He says Martians, because, you know, we always talked about the Martians. way
I
back when.
know. Well,
So-
who has landing? That was a question. Are there extraterrestrial bases on the moon? If so, what are the reasons? And are they in the third, fourth, and or fifth dimensions?
She says there are other beings that have we would call stations, but she says there's no permanent residence
Okay.
there. It's more of a when she says like a landing station, it's like it's more like to kind of like a resting station, like you do
Like
a resting.
refuel or just
Yeah,
recoup.
and so when you
Okay.
said that refuel, I'm asking her, where do you get the fuel and stuff? She says a lot of these ships, as we call them, don't even have the liquid fuel as we have.
Okay.
Theirs is more magnetic type energy that
Okay.
fuels them.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what kind of life is on moon, the dark side or the bright side for that matter?
Yeah. she says she's showing me like four-legged critters type things, that walk around, and
Okay.
they seem kind of large to me.
Like reptilians or insectoids that are like an alien being?
Aliens, like, but she says it's more of like the I say critters, but they're really big, like lizard type stuff, like
Well,
lizard type.
interesting, because somebody wants to know if is or was the inside of the moon occupied by reptilians. So I'm going to go ahead and expand that. You said you're not hollow, Luna. So are you, are there reptilians living on, at least occasionally, on the surface of anywhere in and outside of you?
She's saying that you want, what the question is are there like reptilians, like what people are wanting to know, are there like the bad reptilians, the bad people, or whatever it is?
I'm
And
open to anything.
she says no, because she really doesn't house that kind of energy.
Oh, yeah,
So
you're an entity of love. So
yes, she doesn't
yeah.
house that energy, but reptilians, she says, yeah, what we could call them is reptilians. And what she's showing me, it's like they look like what do you call those, kimono dragons?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they look like that's one. And then I'm asking her, like, do you have any kind of vegetation or anything over there?
Yeah.
Also, and you know, I just don't feel like they eat like the same way we eat, like food and stuff like that. There's nourishment within the moon itself, whatever it
Oh,
supplies, and that.
okay.
And that I'm asking, are there other beings, other people, ETs, or whatever you want to call them? I feel like she's being not secretive, but protective. Like, she's showing me there are other beings
Okay.
that live over there. Yes, there are. And she says, and they also protect her.
Now, the question also was, are these reptilian or whatever, these extraterrestrials, are they in the third or the fourth or the fifth dimensions, or does it make any difference?
She says, well, they definitely cannot be in the third dimension, or they wouldn't be with me. She says,
Yeah.
she says, she's showing me between 5 and 7, like they're in the
Oh,
5 and
wow.
7th. Yeah.
All right. So what is the moon made of? I'm going with cheese personally, but what's the truth? What are you made of?
She says it's a combination of many things. She says matter, whatever that is, and my science is really going to kick in
Matter,
and show
like
you
dark
what I don't.
matter? Is that what you
It's like matter. She's saying from it's she's showing me it's like well, she said first thought, but she says matter, and it's like it's coming from stuff from around the other planets and stars and everything around her that have collected.
okay.
And she's showing me like there's a hard form or something. It's almost like it's stuff for like, she showed me it's like similar to like volcano rock or something, is what she's showing me.
Well,
She's not,
are there any elements that are there that are not on Earth?
she said definitely.
Are any
There's
of them useful?
any of them what?
Useful to us? Somehow.
She says, she said yes, we would find use in them now. She's saying back in the 60s, I guess, when we went up to the moon or around there, she said no, because our technology wasn't there. but there's a lot of like crystal-like form and stuff there, crystal type energy, very magnetic, very energetic. She says we could use that as well. She says, you know, because of the energy and everything around there, there's also the magnetic field she's showing me around there, and it's like that could be used like in like surgery type environments to like pull whatever it is out.
Okay.
Because the way she's showing me how it's, and it's like with the, like what we would call the dirt, but she says the dirt there, what we call dirt, it's very powdery.
Okay.
And it feels hollow, she says, but again, I'm not hollow.
Okay. Is there water in or on the surface of anywhere in the moon?
Parts of the moon, she says.
What parts? Inside, on the surface?
She's showing me like not on the surface, like on the inside, but she's showing me like more to the dark side of the moon, and down in the moon there's water there.
Is it just regular, like little conduits or aqueducts of water? Is that what you're saying? Like
They're like reservoirs. They're like reservoirs in that, and
okay.
But the water there is a different energy type than our water.
How so?
She says that their water is, it's like it's we don't like, it doesn't have some of the nutrients. I don't know if it's like enzymes or nutrients or something. It's just not the same.
So it doesn't nourish the water of the moon does or does not nourish us as well.
It doesn't nourish us here on this planet.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't nourish us, because she says there's a purpose in the rain that we get where it comes down. There's a purpose in why it comes through what it comes through.
Okay.
For us, our use. Okay. There's a purpose. I feel like the water that she has there is, I don't think that it would really quench our thirst, or our body would be able to absorb it.
Is it a different, is it not H2O? Is it some like heavy water, like H3O or something?
She makes me feel like it's real light, like real light feeling.
Okay.
So it's not the same source that we need. She's showing me.
Does it have 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, or is it different? You don't have to say what if it is different.
She says it's different, but you're close to what she's saying.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. When you eclipse, no, wait. Have we always just had one moon associated with the Earth, or have there been more? Or are there more?
She makes me feel like this isn't like somebody else was here.
Okay,
another moon, but this was like billions and billions of years ago.
Will you always be attached, in the way that you are anyway, to Earth?
She said yes. She said definitely. She said, this is what we would associate with what she says, like a job or a position. She says it's a very high archetype demand position. She says she feels very honored to be the moon.
Well, we're honored to have you. Gosh.
She says thank you.
Is it true? Well, this is along the same line. So it's not really true that the moon is pulling further from the Earth's orbit, or is it? Maybe it is, and it'll just come back in. I don't know. But is it pulling away from the Earth's orbit?
She says no, she's not pulling away, but sometimes there are elements in the air that make it to where the moon does seem to move a little bit or back away or whatever.
Okay.
And it's just for a protection of herself.
Ooh, okay. All right. Moving right along. Let's see. When you have the eclipse of the sun, like you did in 1991, does the sun get pissed at you? Somebody asked, hey, you're stealing my thunder. I can't imagine. These are celestial bodies. They are the wisest of all in the galaxy, at least one of the wise, some of the wisest. So
she says no, because it's a balancing act. It's
yeah,
balance. She
that's
says
everything.
no. She
So
goes,
much is about balance.
she
Isn't
says
it?
we're in harmony. She says it's an agreement that we knew we were going to do this, and so
So
no, and
good.
there's
So
a benefit
how do
from
you
it.
feel about the sun? Are you guys ever like go out and hit the bars and have a little social time? No, I'm kidding. I mean, how do you
She's
get
so,
along?
when you say that, she's got kind of a sense of humor. She says that no, he's just too hot for me.
Oh, well, some like it hot. What is the best way to absorb and emulate the moon's energy? What sentences should we do, or certain things we should say that will allow us to know with certainty that we're connected to the moon's energy? So, step one, step two, step three, how do we absorb and emulate your energy?
She says one that's really easy is just to acknowledge my presence, and she says that it's like acknowledge that I am energy, that I am this ball, she says, this round thing of energy. And then she says that's first and foremost, because most people don't even give me thought, is something of an energy. And she really is very honored that you're acknowledging her as as a being,
Sentient, beautiful, celestial, wise
yes. And she
being of
says,
love.
a lot of there's a lot of cultures and stuff that really honor her. And she says,
Yeah.
one thing she says, and it's so simple also, is just stepping outside and just breathing and looking at the moon. She says, doing that. And while she's saying that, we used to have a show a long time ago. I think it was called The Addams Family or The
Oh,
Munsters, one of them.
yes.
And they would
Yeah.
go outside at night and go moon bathing instead of sun tanning. They'd
Oh,
go
yes,
moon
right.
bathing.
Right.
And she says,
course.
and Erik was bringing that because she says there are a lot of people who do go out and bathe in the moon
Yeah.
and
Nice.
stuff. She says,
But-
putting water out and drink and letting me energize it. She says that does a lot also, but
And
just
crystals too. Can you really
absolutely.
charge crystals? I mean,
I'm
how's
sorry?
that work? And so you can really charge crystals? How's that work?
Yeah, because she says we're connected. The crystals know to connect to
Oh,
me.
yeah. Okay.
She
How does
says
it
they
work?
know.
Does it activate the potential healing properties of the crystal? Is that what happens? Or
She says they already have those properties. What it does is it's like they just connect and like get re-energized and just cleanse and
okay. Oh, yeah.
she
Cleansing
says they're
maybe.
just cleansing. She's showing me.
Okay, so I guess crystals, when we have them around negative energy, they take on that negative energy better them than us, and then the moon can cleanse that. That's one.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Is the moon aware of when we look up to it and connect? Do you feel our hearts yearning to connect to you, Luna?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
You're on my healing team because I put all of the celestial bodies in Apollo's solar system or something like that. So thank
And
you
she
for helping
says,
me.
she says, and she, with that also, that helps to make whatever you do or anybody else does. She doesn't like to use the word power, but that's the only word that we can relate to, I guess, is to make it more effective, I guess, not effective, but more powerful, like, where we can really feel the energy that's going on. Because she says, because you're connecting to her.
Yeah, more influential. It influences, affects. Yeah. Okay.
And you allow what she says. So what happens when you're connected to her? You just open up energetically and you allow her energy to move through you, and then you just do your thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Cool. I forgot to ask, are there certain sentences that we should say that will allow us to better connect, like mantras or things like that?
She says she's telling me no, but if it helps you to connect by saying a mantra or saying a certain prayer, because people have certain prayers that they say to certain things, it just helps them. Or she says, or you can put a statue of a moon in front of you, because people feel better when they're praying to statues and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
You know,
Whatever
she
works
says,
for the person.
yeah, she says, you can do that. She says there are some people on this planet now who are so connected to her. And, there are some people here that are, she's showing me that where they don't really eat. They just drink water, and I don't know what they call them. But
Yeah.
she's saying they get a lot of their energy and their recharge, their nutrients and stuff from her. They're very connected to her.
Is there a reason why men should connect more than they do with the moon, or the same thing with women? Or is there any difference in gender as far as the needs that you can fulfill in different genders?
She said no, it doesn't matter about the gender, because she says that wouldn't be fair if she connected more to one or the other, or the male or the female connected. She says that really wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be balanced. They both should be able to connect with her.
Well, I mean, do you think their men should connect more than they do sometimes?
She said, of course.
Or vice versa. Do I don't know.
She says, believe it or not, men really do in certain tribes connect to her. Because they find her empowering, and she doesn't feel like a feminine energy that wears a lot of lace and a lot of pink. So men aren't they're more drawn to her. She's telling
Does it
me.
help men find their activate or unleash a bit of their feminine side?
She said it helps. It does, and she says, and
women, for that matter.
She said it does, but with men, it really helps them to. It helps. It's like calm down. I feel like with anger or temperament or something, with things like that. She says it helps with that. And with women, she said, if women would connect more with me, they would see how empowered they really are.
Oh, it just unleashes the idea of their own divine power.
She said,
divine feminine.
Yeah. Yeah, because she says when you connect with me, you're connecting to source, and it's like it just keeps connecting you to it. And she says that this is what's happening now. More and more people on this planet here, she says, are realizing that there's more to just the sun's giving us sunburns and the moon's giving us a time to go to sleep. They're realizing that we're an entity, we're energy of our own as well, that we are more than just that ball in the sky. And there's more to us than.
Well, source gave birth to you and also Gaia, etc. But did you, created by source, come from the rim, the Pacific Rim, the ring of fire from the earth, come from the earth, or were you just created all on your own?
She's showing me she was created for the earth.
Oh, okay. But not from the earth.
But not from the earth.
Okay, I just have one more question. We can save the rest for part 2. Last question. Let me see. How exactly does the moon affect humanity in this? Well, we've already answered a little bit of that, but maybe you want to elaborate on how you, Luna, affect humanity and this planet. And if you want to add to how you're affecting, in particularly these very difficult times, you can add to that too. You don't have to. You can save that for later.
Well, she says one of the things she's doing is she's saying how she's stirring up mental illness, helping to stir that up.
Oh,
and
so
it's not.
So there's awareness for it that way.
Yeah, because she says it's the energy of the mental illness that needs to be looked at. And we keep looking at the mental illness and wanting to put pills in it and
Yeah.
salves and creams and whatever else and stuff. And she says, that's good, but it's the energy of the mental illness that what still needs to be addressed. And she says, we are here still trying to medicate and figure that out. But then there's another consciousness here on this planet who's looking at the energies of the mental illness. And she says there is something to do with her electrical waves, or I just feel like it's electrical, her waves,
Okay. It's
her energy.
electromagnetic or maybe
Yes,
spirit waves.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Some
she
sort of
says,
energy.
that helps it helps to keep the mental illness alive so people can't keep it quiet
Oh,
because it never goes
yeah.
away.
Sweep
But
it out from under the rug. Sweep it out
Yes.
from under the rug. And they say sunlight is the best disinfectant. Well, moonlight is too in this case. Well, do you have any healing abilities for people with mental illness? Or for any other illness for that matter?
She does. She has a healing, but not a cure, she says.
Okay.
And, it's, she says there's a lot of people who with mental illness that don't sleep well at night.
Yeah.
And she says, we call it insomnia, but there's a reason why they're not sleeping at night from this. She says that would be a really good time for them to spend time outdoors. Or she's saying if it can't be outdoors, because she recognizes that some of our places are not safe to be outdoors,
Right.
but just to sit in front of a window.
Yeah.
And just, she says, listening to some music, I feel like she's saying like some chanting type music, and it doesn't
Okay.
matter from what
Claire de
sector.
Lune.
Yeah, she said it doesn't matter from what sector.
Yeah.
But she says, and then just focus on your breathing and help to connect. She says, connect with me. She says she's a very good grounding tool, a very good grounding rod she's showing me.
Well, is there a cure for, I'm sure some mental illness, you have irrevocable contracts that person or someone who has to take care of the person, must fulfill that contract. But
Right.
other than that, do you feel like there's no cure for mental illness?
She said there is a cure for it, but she says, remember, it's the energy of the mental illness.
Right. The energy has to be transmuted and mitigated and transformed in some way. All right. I don't have anything else for part one. But anyway, thank you so much, Denise, for, we had to reschedule. I really appreciate that. And
Of course.
And anyway, get in touch with Denise. She's an awesome healer. She does all sorts of stuff. Go to her site at deniseramon.com. Erik, thank you so much for bringing Luna. Luna, thank you so much. It's been such an honor.
She says to her, it was such an honor. And she's a lot of love coming out from her. And she just really is very thankful. And Erik is going, good job, Mom. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you, Erik. I love you guys.
Love you. You take care. Bye.
Thank you.